Fixed joints interlock and overlap. They are held together by tough tissue. An example of a fixed joint is your cranium. Your cranium is important as it protects your brain.
The ends of slightly movable joints are covered in hyaline cartilage, for example your vertical column. The third classification of joint is synovial. This means it is freely movable, for example the shoulder joint. Flexion is the condition or action of bending. Extension is a movement increasing the angle between articulating bones at a joint. Abduction is moving a bone away from the midline of the body. Adduction is moving a bone towards the midline of the body.
Rotation is where something, usually a bone, pivots or revolves around a single long axis. Circumduction is a conical movement of a limb extending from the joint.
Pronation is movement of the palm to face down. Supination is movement of your palm to face up.
Plantar flexion is when the toes or foot flex downwards away from the body. Dorsiflexion is when the toes or foot are flexing upwards towards the body.
An example of a hinge joint is your elbow. Movements possible at this is flexion and extension.
An example of the ball and socket joint is your hip. The movements possible at your hip is flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, rotation, and circumduction.
An example of a pivot joint is your vertebrae. Movements possible at this is flexion, extension, and hyperextension. An example of a saddle joint is the thumb. The movements possible are flexion, extension, and rotation.
An example of a gliding joint is your hand. It is slightly movable due to the amount of bones and ligaments in your hand.
The knee joint is constructed of ligaments, cartilage, synovial membrane, synovial fluid, and joint capsule. Ligaments connect bone to bone. Cartilage protects bones from rubbing together. Synovial membrane stops synovial fluid oozing. Synovial fluid lubricates the joint. Joint capsule helps to hold the joint in place. Just leave that.